Okay, thank you very much for joining this. I have the pleasure to tell you something about the project called SOILCRATES. It's not about crates of soil, it's not soil crates, so it's about a project which is one of the sibling projects you heard Niels talk yesterday about. It's within the EU Soil mission, and it's one of the Living Lab projects which we started. Myself, I'm an applied research professor in sustainable soil management, and I do that for the University of Van Larenstein, which is in the north of the Netherlands. I have some colleagues here who helped present this presentation or make this presentation, and we have other colleagues here as well who are joining this conference today. Let me see how this goes. No. Yep. Other button. Sorry. As mentioned, it's about Socrates. It's the Greek philosopher Socrates. We have lent his name, so more or less, and that's because he has some very nice, interesting sayings. That the only true wisdom is knowing you know nothing. And that's sometimes also how we feel about souls, yeah, and especially about soul biology. So another important aspect is Socratic learning. So have a shared dialogue with each other. So you actually enhance your whole idea about how you can cooperate with soul health, etc., etc. As mentioned, it's this project within the Soul Deal for Europe. So we are one of the first, and we have a 12 million budget. So that's a lot of money. So wrong button, sorry. And we have 4 living labs. So one is in the north of the Netherlands, so which I'm representing as well. So one is in Ireland, the southwest part. One is in Spain, Granada. You saw a talk from Anna yesterday about that. And the other one is in France, in Le Lande. So and within Living Labs, it's about co-creation. That means that we work and discuss with stakeholders about the issues, solutions, and problems they see with regard to soil health. Yeah. So we do that also within lighthouses. Lighthouses are established places where you can see and where you can learn as a farmer, as a stakeholder, as an entrepreneur, what was happening with soil health, with soil health, and we will run pilot projects. That means we have a living lab, approximately 10 pilot projects. So what we will start with, these are starting projects to bring ideas further. And preferably we do that at farms, so not at academic sites, but specifically at farm sites. And they need to be determined. And this is part of the Living Lab process. So what we will look at, quite topics. So we will look specifically at Objective 6 of the EU Soil Mission, which is about soil structure and soil biology enhancement. And we look at farm practice in relation to crop diversity, water and irrigation, soil amendments, and soil life. Also, soil literacy is very important, not only for farmers, but also for students, for entrepreneurs, for policymakers, etc., etc. So we have all kinds of activities supporting that. And the reason why we're here today and this conference is about, we also look at soil monitoring, and we're very curious what's happening here with other projects, etc., etc. So we're looking at machine learning. We're looking to find the right indicators to help the farmers and also the policymakers. Important aspect is also we look specifically at agriculture soils and specifically on mineral soils, so agricultural and mineral soils. To be clear, so what's the setup of the project? The motor is the organization of the Living Labs, which is work package 1. So work package 2 is about sharing information. So we also look at the impact of the whole Living Lab process and the sustainability and the impacts we create within the Living Labs. But specifically today, I will focus on work package 4 and on work package 5, which are about soil diagnosis, statistics, and monitoring. So, and about soil health practices and support and development for that. If you look at work package 4, which is about soil diagnosis and monitoring, it's our objective to share indicators and protocols, and to also to look at different stakeholders and to do that for different stakeholders as well. We want to develop a data platform, and we want to use predictive modeling. Yeah, so can we actually help farmers make decisions based on a model that help them to make decisions about when to use soil amendments, how to improve soil health, etc., etc. So work package 4 is set up in different tasks. Task 1 is more about deciding about the indicators. We are currently very busy with that. Task 2 is about a farmer toolbox. It has these tools for the farmer, how they can help the farmer, how to make decisions about it. We also want to help policymakers. So we have also indicators for policymakers, and we came up with a soil health assessment for them as well. and also so policy can help make decisions about that. And all will be bundled within task 4.5, which we have an online platform with all kinds of tools for soil data. How does that look like? Now, we currently are very busy with setting up the database with the indicators. We looked at all kinds of projects, also projects which are presented last days here, like the AEP soils, like AI for soil health, etc., etc. I think we looked over 21 projects as a whole, Lucas, for instance, and we came up with the first set of indicators, which look at organic matter, chemical indicators, physical indicators, and biological indicators. It's a screenshot how we do that. And as you also can see here, is that we also look at ecosystem services. Yeah, so we're not just looking at the physical indicators, the parameters for that, but also try to translate those to ecosystem values. So and hopefully also get added value for farmers then on that. Work package 5 is about soil health practices to set up a support and development for them. And we have several objectives there. The first one is to bridge the knowledge gaps. So what are the effects of soil health improvement, for instance, on technique and ecosystem services, to provide scientific and technological support. So that means that within the work package, we have this covered, and also interpret the significance and demonstrate of soil health improvement. So what does that mean for the farmer? What does that mean for policy? What does that mean for society? So, and for that, again, we need all the actors within the quadruple helix. Yeah, so that's also what we do within the Living Lab sessions, discuss, talk with them, see how that goes. And at the end, we want to have a catalog of cause effect relations, and that actually farmers can see what they can do, but the policymakers can see what happens then, and demonstrate what the effects are on soil health and ecosystem services. How does that look like? Again, one of the tasks we have, task 5.1, so which is about setting up a catalog of state-of-the-art soil health improvement practices. Means again that we interconnect, of course, with all the other aspects of a project. And in this case, we have a lot of partners in it and a lot of ideas about that. So, so you need to manage that as well. Now, Lena does that. And that's also make sure that we co-design not only the content of a fact sheet, for instance, but also what kind of information should be in there. So, and what I mean with that is an example. This is just fresh from the press. And it's very poorly visible. Sorry for that. This is a fact sheet for the farmers as being developed. And you can see all kinds of information on that, which is relevant for a farmer. Yeah, so he can make a decision on that. If he has an issue, what kind of soil practice he can do, so to improve that, and he can see the effects as well. So we're now setting up 35 fact sheets of known soil practices. So they relate to cultivation systems, choice of crops, organic amendments, so inorganic amendments, soil stimuli, soil repair, and also preventive measures to improve soil health. So the first set will be complete by the end of April and will be put online then. So what we also do within the project is we start these experiments. We do that with farmers, but we don't expect farmers to monitor everything themselves. We actually are helping them with that, and we are setting up for them the experiments. We have researchers involved. These researchers help with setting up the experiment, but also monitoring and actually do the measurements themselves. We will try to use remote sensing, drones, for instance, all sensors in the field, satellite imaging, etc., and help to analyze and see the effects of the experiments the farmers think is interesting for them to improve the soil quality or the soil health. As mentioned, we also look at ecosystem services. You have, of course, the provisioning services, the supporting services, the cultural services, and the regulating services. And we already came up with what we want to monitor them for them and how to want to interpret the measures taken by farmers also to the impact of ecosystems. And as latest task 5.4, in this case, we start with fact sheets at the beginning, yeah, which is based on known knowledge. And by the end, we hope to expand that with all the information we have gathered within the project itself by the experiments, at least 10 per living lab, as mentioned. And then we have see effects as well in the database on soil health, economics, economics, and ecosystem services. And farmers can actually select then what they need and hopefully have some backup there as well. Now, in 2028, the project officially ends. So we hope to have achieved a lot, but most important is at the right side is that we actually help farmers make the right decision so they can come from the current situation to a more sustainable, more so health positive situation. So that they actually can have a contribution to that. Yeah. And of course, we are a living lab. It's not the idea that we do a project just for 4 years. Yeah. And then as academics, we say, okay, that's fine. And let's see further what we can do afterwards. We hope that we just started. Yeah. So started within the living labs, within the regions, with our stakeholders, how we can find solutions for problems they have, tackling with. So and actually can help them. Yeah. We also have want to be part of the big ecosystem on living labs, the 100 living labs mentioned. So and this is more or less what we hope to end within 2028, and hopefully have a start then afterwards. Are there any questions? I have to thank a lot of people. These are the organizations involved. So and if you want to contact me, something went wrong again. So with my email address is there, and if you can download the slides, you can also find my phone number if needed.